Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing okay. Today I'm very excited to be bringing you a Canadian arts and crafts stationery haul. I've been able to go to several stores, have been to the Dollar Tree, to Michael's, to some small shops. And I've bought some stuff I'm excited about. Usually when I visit Canada, I do not buy a lot of things because I only travel with a carry-on and I do not have enough space to bring back a lot of stuff. But this time I'm staying for a couple months and I will be able to leave some stuff here or ship them back home so I can buy more stuff. And also, because I'm still traveling with a carry-on for a few months, I did not have enough space to bring back all the stationery and art supplies I needed for this trip. So I needed to buy some stuff to be able to work, basically. And I started with the Dollar Tree. It was the first time I went to the Dollar Tree. Usually I go to Dollarama. And it was a nice experience because they had a wider range of stuff than Dollarama. The first thing I bought was this little passport size notebook, and it's the travel system, I think you call it. So you have a cover like this. There were only two colors for the cover and I liked the pink the best. It wasn't my favorite, but I think it was $1 or $2, so it was okay. Why did I buy this? I've been curious for a while about this passport TN system and I had the opportunity of trying it out for cheap, so I jumped on it. So basically you have an elastic band here that keeps it closed, and inside you can put several notebooks. They are attached to the cover with these rubber bands, so you can replace them when they're done. You can add more, you can add little inserts, and I really like this idea. So you can keep the cover, you can have cheap notebooks inside, you can have different pockets. Because I didn't have enough space to bring my one-liner journal, I thought I would use this as my one-liner day because it's smaller. And I've started using it, and to my surprise the paper isn't that bad, because usually when you buy a notebook at a discount store or a dollar store, the paper isn't great. You usually have a lot of bleeding, the paper is very thin, but this one is fine. I like the look of the notebooks, and so I've been writing this one for my one-liner journal, and I will then transfer what I wrote in there to my one-liner journal when I'm back in France. So it doesn't really matter if the paper isn't good. And then I will be able to replace those with, I already have some passport-sized notebooks I bought at Muji, and I'm very excited to be able to use them here. I have been using it for 2 weeks, and I think the cover has held up okay. There is a little indentation here where the elastic band stays. The spine of the notebook is a bit worn out, but I think that all in all it's okay. The inside cover has a kind of felt or velvet texture. I don't know what I think about it, but I would have preferred that it was like this kind of surface here, so I could have added like post-its and pictures and stuff. But for the price, I'm okay with it, and I've been loving just the idea of this notebook, the idea of being able to have several notebooks with you at the same time. You could have a planner, you could have a little journal, you could have a notebook where you just write lists, and it's so customizable, and I really like it. I also think I would be able to make my own cover pretty easily. I'm going to continue trying this method and I will tell you how the cover holds up. I will most likely do a end of year recap of my notebooks and planners, and I will talk to you about this one in there. I'm curious to go back to a dollar store because I want to see if they had passport-sized notebooks there, like little composition books. I won't be able to go for a while, but I'm curious to go back. And because I'm in Canada and I couldn't bring all the stuff I wanted, I wasn't able to bring my tripod for my camera, so I'm filming on my phone with a cell phone tripod, and I hope it doesn't move when I'm filming and that the image is still okay for a video. I'm currently filming in a motel, so the conditions are not ideal, but I welcome the challenge. At the Dollar Tree, I bought another notebook. I went twice to the Dollar Tree before I left this town, and I hesitated buying this one because I really don't need a notebook. I have a lot at home, but this cover was so cute. It's a hardcover, wire-bound notebook. It has ruled paper inside, and the paper is quite thin. It's thinner than the little passport-sized notebooks I've showed you. But I'm currently volunteering at a bird observatory, and I knew I wanted to learn more about birds, be more efficient there, and I wanted a notebook to do that. Now that I think about it, I could have used the passport-sized notebook to have everything in the same place, but I just wanted to buy this notebook. It was $1 or $2, $1 or $2 Canadian dollars, so it's fine. I have done some pen tests here, and it doesn't bleed as much as I would have thought. The highlighters do not bleed too bad, it's more the gel pens that bleed. But as I'm going to show you with the next notebook I bought, I found a solution for this. When I saw this composition book, I was really excited. If you've been living in North America, you've done your schooling in North America, this is not very exciting for you. But as someone that has grown up in France, this just screams TV shows or movies, and I just love the look of composition books. I think they're very practical, they're very handy, and yeah, $1 or $2 in the back to school section of the store. I needed a notebook for my commonplace book. I've talked about my commonplace book in my update to my 2023 notebook and planner lineup. If you haven't watched it, basically a commonplace book is a place where you can gather knowledge, where you can have quotes, where you can have your thoughts about what you're reading, about what you're listening to. I use my commonplace book as a little personal encyclopedia. I research stuff I want to understand, and I copy the important information inside. I've already started using it, as you can see. I researched wildfire, here I researched some vocabulary, and as you can see, I do not write on the left, because ink bleeds quite a lot through this very thin paper, and you see the mark of the pen here, and I didn't want to write on both sides and have them really not legible, so I decided to only write on one side of the notebook here, and it's been going well. For $1 or $2, I think it's fine if I do not write on every single page. It's 100 pages, so I will be able to use 50 pages. I just had the idea the other day of using the left of the page to glue my pictures on, so I have more space on the page on the right, and I have my picture here, and it won't interfere with what I'm doing. It won't show up on the other side of the page. At the Dollar Tree, I also bought this set of pastel highlighters. I only brought one highlighter with me, and I knew I would be using them to take notes, and to be honest, they were so cute. The colors were really nice, and I had never bought highlighters at a discount store before. I think I bought highlighters once at a discount store, and they did not work super well. They dried super quickly, and I wanted to try those out. They're called Jot highlighters, and I really like the colors. I have been using them. They do not bleed a lot. We'll see if they dry out very fast, but for now I'm very happy about them. I was curious to look at the craft corner of the Dollar Tree, and I found this set of acrylic stamps. I've showed you before in previous videos how I use them. I do not have that kind of alphabet at home. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 different fonts. You have capital letters, you have smaller ones, you have cursive ones here, you have numbers here, and I wanted a set of individual letters for acrylic stamp, because that way I can really align them in the stamp and have straight lines, because I have a set of wooden letters, of wooden stamps, and you don't really see where you're stamping, and it's a bit annoying. I haven't opened them yet, so let's see how they are inside. I haven't brought a acrylic stamp with me, and it did not come with an acrylic block or ink, so I'm not going to buy them. I'm going to keep them until I can use it at home. Yeah, they just present like normal stamp. They're a bit thin maybe, but nothing major. I hope they stick well to the acrylic block. I will tell you that in a video when I'm able to use them. But for now, I'm really happy about this. I think it was 2 or 3 Canadian dollars. I bought a little cheap plastic palette. It was less than $1. I have brought with me my gouache set, but I haven't brought a palette to save space in my luggage, and I knew I would be able to buy a cheap palette at a discount store. Nothing particular to say about it. I haven't used it yet, so maybe as soon as I start using my gouache set with it, it will stain the plastic, but it's really okay when you're using gouache, and it's a bit thin, but not too much. I think I will be able to use it for several years. Last thing I bought at the Dollarama is this set of index cards. I haven't opened it yet because this way it's contained. It's 225 cards. I wanted to buy index cards, flashcards, because I wanted to quiz myself on the birds I'm seeing at the observatory, to learn their names, to learn some characteristics. And I just like the look of flashcards anyway. I like to use them in journals or in scrapbooks. I bought this at a discount store, and as soon as I saw them, I was hooked. I think they were $2 or $1. There are 400 stickers in it. You have 4 different colors of stars, and I thought I would be using them in my commonplace book to index the subjects I was working on. I could use them in my daily scrapbook to have a little decoration. I could use it in my planner anyway. It's not the kind of thing you can really easily buy in France. That kind of, I think it's the thing that you give to students in North America. So for me, it's very exotic. I've been really liking what Megan Rhiannon has done in her different journals and notebooks. She uses these kinds of stars to decorate, and I wouldn't think I would like that, but I've been finding it really cute, and I think this would be really nice for when it's time to do Christmas pages. And I've been using them and I've been liking them. I was able to go to Michael's when I was in town. If you don't know this, prices in Canada are crazy. Inflation has not gone down for several years, and Michael's is, in my opinion, a particularly pricey store. I do not know the prices in the United States, for example, but I like Michael's because there is a variety of choices, and I like to look at the thing. It's like being in a North American video. But if I had the choice, I would have liked to go to a store like Dessert, which is an art store. I don't know if they're all over Canada, but when I visit Montreal, I can go to Dessert and I much prefer it. But because I didn't have a choice of stores where I was at, I went to Michael's and I was able to find some cute stuff. This is a sticker notebook, but a sticker book I had seen several times before, and I have always been hesitating because of the price, because there are 800 stickers. It's really hard to find just a plain sheet of stickers that's cheap in Canada, well, anyway, in my experience in the stores I've been to. So I was just outraged the first time I saw the prices of these kinds of stuff. But this time I caved. It's a Europe-themed sticker book. I've used some of them because they're travel themed, so I'm able to use them even to talk about my travels in Canada. And I think the designs are very, very cute. I really like that you have this little position thingy, you have these little airplanes, and I just really like the design. I wish they had more European countries in it. They have England, they have Italy, Finland, etc. But I would have loved if they had Norway in it, because I thought I could use them to decorate my own albums to when I went to Norway a few years ago. So that's why I bought this set of puffy stickers. It's very unlike me to buy puffy stickers because, as you can see, they're very... Okay, I'm going to open them because it's not easy to show you. It's not like me to buy puffy stickers because, as you can see, some of them are really, really thick and they're really expensive, but I really like the look of it. I also like that I could use the Aurora Borealis for other countries. I can use this for other countries, and I really like the, you know, it's kitsch, this little, I don't know how to call it, but this little sparkly thing, a little confetti inside of it, but the kitschiness of it really appealed to me, and I thought it would be really nice in my album. I won't be using it while I'm traveling, but it's just, I could not resist. I bought a little bottle of masking fluid. I have masking fluid at home, but it's really annoying to bring liquids when you're taking an airplane. It was cheap enough. The only thing I'm worried about is that I hadn't opened it in the store, and when I opened it here in my motel room, there was a big blob of drawing gum inside. I made the mistake of just shaking it, and I think there are little particles of it inside, so I hope it's still okay to use. I haven't tried it yet, but I've tried this brand before and the masking fluid works well. So I hope that I did not make it worse when I shaked it. When I used to have masking fluid pens, they had little ball bearings, little metallic balls inside, so you could shake it and stir it. That would be nice to have this in this pot. I bought a little Mindliner highlighter from Zebra. I've been loving Mindliner highlighters for years, and this color is so gorgeous. I've been to Michael several times over the years I've been visiting Canada, and I've been hesitating to buy this particular color for the longest time, since the first time I came to Montreal, I think. Because I have highlighters at home and I couldn't justify buying it before I finished my other highlighters. But because I do not have my highlighters here, it's fine to buy one, right? So I bought it, I love it. I also bought another Jelly Roll white pen. It's a size 0.8. I really like my 1mm size, but it's a bit too thick when I'm drawing, and they didn't have the 1mm size, I think, anyway. I have bought the 0.5mm before, and I haven't been liking it because then it's not opaque, it doesn't go well on the page. So I thought I would try the 0.8, especially because my 1mm one is really running low because I'm using it to draw, I'm using it to write in my daily scrapbook. So I thought I would buy a replacement. I would not have bought it so soon if I had access to a Michael's to where I'm staying at, but the town where I can go to Michael's is 2 hours over, so I thought I would just buy a backup, and this is not what will take a lot of space in my suitcase. I've been using it, and so far I like it. You wouldn't think that a 0.8mm would be that smaller than a 1mm one, but I really like the change of thickness, and I've been liking using it. One of the things I was really excited about with going to Michael's was to be able to try out different Prismacolor colored pencils individually. A few months back, a friend lent me her set of Prismacolor, and I was able to try some colors, and this chartreuse color was, I just loved it. It was so gorgeous. I used it a lot, and I haven't a similar color with all of my other colored pencils. I wish I had brought with me my colored pencil swatches because I also wanted to buy a grey pencil. I have quite a bit of grey pencils with Faber-Castell or with Caran d'Ache, but I do not have a lot of cold greys, like cold blue greys. And I bought this one. I like it, but it's not exactly what I was looking for. I bought a white Prismacolor because I saw a video by In Liquid Colors where she combined those Prismacolor pencils and the white particularly to watercolor, and I really loved how opaque the Prismacolor looked over watercolor. And I have tried my white pencils from Caran d'Ache, and I didn't think it looked that opaque. I also bought a black one, even if I have a Faber-Castell and a Caran d'Ache one, because Prismacolor are so creamy. and I really needed something really pigmented, really easy to apply when I'm, for example, drawing bird's eyes, etc. And I've been loving using this Prismacolor one. I really restrained myself from buying a set of Prismacolor because at that point I have 100 colored pencils, and I really want to try to manage my colored pencils addiction. I think there are 2 or more like 3 Canadian dollars each, so it was okay. Final thing I bought at Michael's was this set of micron felt tip liners. They're colored microns, and I had never been able to find colored felt tip liners in France, and I didn't want to order it online. I wanted to try it out before, and I really liked that there was a variety of colors in the set. It was pricey, but I had been wanting to have this kind of felt tips liners for my illustrations because I wanted to see if I could use something different than black to do the line work on some illustrations, and so far I've been liking them. I haven't done a full illustration with them before, but they're really nice, really smooth to work with. They are in the 0.5mm size. Really random purchase, but I had to buy a heavy-duty pair of scissors. It's by the Scotch brand. I needed a heavy-duty pair of scissors because I have brought my daily scrapbook with me because I'm traveling for a few months, and I did not want to travel with a big heavy pair of scissors because I didn't want security to keep it or to think I was an axe murderer, or more to the point, a scissors murderer. I bought this in a discount store and I do not regret it because they're so nice to work with. I did not think that having a name brand pair of scissors would make that much of a difference because the pair I'm using at home is a discount store brand and they work well, but this one is just so nice, so smooth to work with, so precise. I just love this pair of scissors. I've also been able to go to some small businesses and I bought these lovely vinyl stickers. I really like the pun of thinking outside the box transformed into just think outside. I really like the design, and the brand is a Weedmark and it's made by a Canadian graphic designer, and I really like that. I'm not sure yet where I'm going to stick it. Usually I would stick it to my watercolor folder, but I'm still thinking about this one. This was a little of a splurge. It's a print of an oil painting by a Canadian artist called Micheline Snively. I have a lot of her prints already. A friend of mine gifted me one of her prints for my birthday a few years ago, and she also gifted me one of her original oil painting last year, and I just love her style. When I saw this one in store, I was just hooked. It is absolutely beautiful. Usually when you look at this kind of impressionist painting up close, it doesn't hold up. I love Monet, but if you look at up close, or Van Gogh, it's just not pretty to look at. But this, her art, Snively's art, is just, I love it up close, I love it far away, I love the movement of this piece. And having bought several of her prints before, I know it's high quality, and I just could see it so nicely sitting in my apartment. It's just, I love this one. It's called Alpine View from Morphe. I will link down her Instagram, Etsy shop and everything down below. You should really check her out. Finally, I'm going to talk about some stuff I did not buy in Canada and that I didn't have time to talk about when I was still in France. I bought a tablet, a drawing tablet. So if you haven't looked into, how do you call this, digital illustration before, you might not know that they have different kinds of drawing tablets. They are the one that you have a screen and you directly see what you're drawing. But these ones can get really pricey, and they have the ones that are these that you can hook up to your computer via Bluetooth or USB. And so you're drawing on this surface, but it appears on screen, so you have to do a little mental gymnastic of drawing here but looking at your screen. And usually these kind of drawing tablets, they're called pen tablets, are a lot less expensive than the display ones. I choose the XP Pen brand and this model that I will link the specifics down below, because I knew nothing about digital illustration. I was curious about digital illustration and I think it's going to be useful for a project I'm working on. But I knew nothing about it, and when I'm watching videos of artists using digital illustration, they don't usually talk about the specifics of their hardware and how they chose it, etc. So I watched a video I will link down below. I watched a video where the guy explained what was best for different price ranges, and this one was, I bought it on Amazon and it was 70 euros, I think, compared to some drawing tablets that started at 400 euros. I was like, yep, I'm buying this. I just hope that because it's not as high quality as others, it doesn't get frustrating and I don't get the result I would like. I've tried it out a bit, but I found it really challenging to use. I've showed you a video about my sketchbook and I feel a bit confident about drawing at that point. But with this, it's like starting from scratch. So I really hope it's just a learning curve and not the hardware being just not viable. So this set came with the tablet. I chose the green color. It comes with this little stylus, little pen. It has several little LEDs. I don't know why you would need to replace those LEDs. Maybe they get blunt when you draw a lot. It comes with some USB attachment. I had bought a case for it that Amazon recommended, but it ended up being way too big, so I returned it. And also I noticed that this drawing tablet, because it's small, fits perfectly fine in my laptop case. So I don't need a separate case for it. I will come back to you and talk to you about starting digital illustrations in a few months if you're interested. And here it is. This was my haul. Tell me if you are interested in some of the products I've showed you. Tell me if you've tried them and if you have some advice about digital illustration. I hope I'll be able to do several videos about my travels in Canada and in other countries. Tell me if you would be interested in that kind of videos. For myself, I'm very excited because I'm really starting a new page in my life. This sounds so corny, but it's really accurate. I'm starting something new. And I will talk to you about it in a few months when I'm more settled down. I will add a few clips about Canada so far at the end of this video. It's just a dream for me to be able to be in Western Canada, to see the mountains and the forest, to just drive and have a bear or a moose cross the road. It's just, for someone who comes from a small village of 200 inhabitants in France, this is very exotic to me, and it's the kind of thing I've been wanting to do for years, just dropping everything and starting traveling. Yeah, I hope it goes well and I hope you're interested in it. I'm going to stop rambling now. I'm really excited for this. Yep, I'm going to stop rambling. I hope the video quality and the sound were okay. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. So basically, this is my setup. I have my phone hooked up to this phone tripod resting on an upended recycling bin, because I've noticed that if I put the tripod directly on the surface where I'm filming, tiny vibration of me just touching the table make the phone move and the image is shaking, so that's not good. And I think the setup has prevented the shaking. It's not pretty, but it's working. I've moved the motel room table in front of the window so I can have more light. I have my whole stuff here, so it's really, it's a crafty setup, but I think it's really fun. So now I'm going to show you a few clips about Canada.